Here we go, it's ATP Rotterdam time, and Alcaraz is back on our screens playing tennis again. The last time we saw him, he got defeated rather easily against Novak Djokovic at the Australian Open. Let's see if he can do better here. We've got no Jannik Sinner, but the second seed is Daniil Medvedev. Right, let's get straight into it, and I've brought up the previous champions of this event. For a reminder, it is an indoor hardcourt event, an ATP 500, and it's an event in which historically Roger Federer used to like. He's won this event 3 times, the first one being 2005, then 2012, and then the last one in 2018. In more recent years, we've had Gael Monfils doing very well. Felix as well got to a final and then won. Tsitsipas got to a final. And Jannik Sinner's really liked it the last few years. Runner-up in 23 and then winning it in 24. So there's no Jannik Sinner in this draw. So the reigning champion won't be there. But the number 1 seed is Carlos Alcaraz. He's never reached the final before. And number 2 is Daniil Medvedev, someone who you'd expect to really like these conditions. However, there is some other players in the draw who I think can be very dangerous. And probably the best place to start is with Felix. Because Felix has just won an event literally a few moments ago. And he is one of the best players when he's in form on an indoor hard court. So I think he can be very dangerous. And Carlos Alcaraz is not going to be pleased with this draw. He's got Botic van der Zandschulp, who we know can cause a lot of problems on a hard court to Alcaraz. We saw that last year at the US Open. And Felix, who's in form, who's dangerous. You've then also got Holger Rune there. On his day can be good. Rublev, who's won the event. So this is his half. And I think this is littered with players who have the ability to beat Alcaraz. And his early few matches are some of the tougher ones. You've even got Fabio Marazan, just to rub salt into the wounds there. Someone who's beaten Alcaraz also before. Hurkacz, he's down here. He's not in the greatest of form, but he should like these conditions. Let's see if he can recover and have a good event. And really, if I'm assessing it, I think this top half in which Alcaraz has is very wide open. Alcaraz, you'd have to say, if he plays his best, he can do that. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see a surprise. If we see maybe a Holger Rune advance all the way to the final. Or if Felix can keep the run going, he's just played a full event and won it. If he can keep that going, then I think he's got the ability to beat a Carlos Alcaraz and these players below as well and get to the final. If you go over to the other side, I would say this is a lot more straightforward. You've got Daniil Medvedev at the bottom. The first match is Wawrinka, who historically has been good at this event, but I think he should have too much for Stan. And then Tsitsipas, who's not in form. He's been practicing today, at the media day, making friends with Daniil Medvedev. We know their relationship's a bit up and down. He's been also doing some videos with Carlos Alcaraz. So good to see Steph in good spirits. But I just don't see him being too much of a threat. I would say de Minaur would be more dangerous, someone who got to the final last year. And this half is easier, let's be fair. I mean, I think we will get the 2 and 3, and that is a Daniil Medvedev de Minaur semi-final. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If I had to go crazy on maybe an outside pick, I think Jakub Mensik is someone who has the abilities. But I'm not really looking at the likes of a Berrettini or a Tsitsipas. Griekspoor, I don't think played very well the other day on these conditions. He's playing at home here, but I just don't see him doing great. Let's go on to the next story I've got, and that is regarding Daniil Medvedev. And during the media day, he confirmed that he stopped working with Gilles Simon. So we know he was with Gilles Simon as part of the coaching team. And this is what he said. He said, with Gilles, we decided to stop working together. Honestly, it was a very good experience with lots of good things. But from now on, Gilles Cervera and I can take forward to work together. With Simon, it didn't work out exactly the way we wanted to, especially in terms of results. We didn't win titles, Grand Slams or something like this, but I learned a lot of new things about tennis. I'm sure it's going to help me in the future. And it seems like they're leaving on very amicable terms. But clearly the results haven't been great for Daniil Medvedev, and he's looking at his backroom staff and he's changing something around. So maybe some other players could take some advice from this. And let's see how it works out for Daniil Medvedev. But something I think's interesting coming into this event. Daniil Medvedev without Gilles Simon. He's got a nice draw as well. Does that mean I think he's going to win it? I think, not just for them reasons, but I do believe Daniil Medvedev will be winning this event. And that is my prediction. I think Alcaraz has a very tough half. If he gets through it and gets to the final, of course, you'd fancy him. But we've seen that Medvedev can beat him even in a final. So my prediction is a Daniil Medvedev win. And I don't think he'll play Carlos in the final. But there we go. That is my prediction and preview of ATP Rotterdam. Let me know in the comment section. What do you think? Who do you think is going to win? Do you have any wild cards? And interested to hear what you guys have to say. Me and Ben will be back for a podcast very soon. We've got a lot going on with work, but we'll be back very soon. So if you haven't already, please hit the like button, subscribe if you're new, and we'll see you soon.